I met a gypsy.
All right, so Julian Wilson, welcome to Gypsy Tales, mate. I am pretty excited to have maybe the world's biggest moto fan surf frother. Actually, this is the way to say it. You're the best surfer in the world that likes motocross.
Yeah, I think so. There's not many of us, to be honest. I mean, Sonny Garcia, he was probably the best. He's won a world title and massive fan of motocross. But yeah, I'm stoked to be on the show. Big fan of the show.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, I got a random DM from you a while ago, and I've been a Julian Wilson fan for years. And when I first started the podcast, actually, because I know Bart from Wasserman, and I said to Bart, I was like, one day I'd be sick to get Julian on, so stars have aligned. But yeah, I got the message, and I was like, dude, Julian is a full moto frother, so I was pretty stoked on that.
Yeah, it's just been, I mean, anyone that's ridden a dirt bike, it's in your blood. You either have it or you don't. I never talk a friend into it, never bring it up to people that don't ride. But when I connect with the boys that ride and the friends that I grew up with riding bikes and rode professionally and stuff, like some of my best memories growing up.
Yeah, what got you into riding motocross, and how long has it been in your life?
Well, I wanted it to start a lot earlier than it did.
Yeah.
My best mate lived just down the road. He had a Pee-wee 50, and I would have been maybe 7, 8 when I first had to go.
Yeah.
And from that moment, it was kind of like, how do I get my own bike? Like, I just want to ride. Like, when's my mate going to ride next time? Like, when can we ride? When can we ride? We used to ride on the block next door to my parents' house, across the road from the beach at Coolum, just cutting laps of the paddock. It was so much fun. But I got it because my dad, he loved bikes. He rode trail bikes and he rode Ducatis in particular, rode bikes for probably about 15 years of his life, right up until pretty much I was born, because I'm the youngest of 3. So I was the final one, and there wasn't really the funds left once the third baby came along to still to keep his bike. So it's funny, like my 2 older brothers could not give a shit about riding a bike. You know, they're petrified of bikes. Can't really say they've ever understood why I ride a bike. Yeah. But I've just got it from Dad, and like, it's just one of those things that I've tried to deny it and think that it's not that meaningful to me. Yeah. But when I neglect it, like, I think a part of me kind of suffers. It's like, well, there's nothing more pure than going and opening the throttle on a dirt bike and like smiling and having fun with your mates, and the respect that you have between each other, like who you're riding with and like what risk you're taking, and like the friends that I grew up riding with, like some were really good and would win the club days and like state champions and stuff, but still, like, they were obviously just going to school and they weren't getting any great funding or anything. And now a lot of the friends that I ride with, they work all week and ride for pleasure on the weekend. Like, no one wants to eat shit and like take time off and not be fully able and to enjoy life. But like, there's just something about riding a dirt bike that is like instant freedom and happiness that can't be neglected if it's something that you're passionate about.
It's funny, man. So me and Jack have been doing jiu-jitsu here the whole time, and Jack's in a very similar position with jiu-jitsu, and you guys are both surfers, and there's a lot of people that are in that kind of position of they're a professional athlete in a certain sport, but there's just these other callings that really kind of speak to them, and then you've got to have this internal battle of, oh fuck, I really shouldn't be doing this in terms of my work, because you know you're one of only 32 professional surfers on the world tour, so that must be a pretty hard line for you to walk. Yeah,
well, it's funny, like the times that I've neglected it and taken a step back from it have probably been the times that I've found it hardest to get my best performances, because I feel like I'm giving up things that I love doing that make my character who I am and what makes me by neglecting something like that, which has plays such a big role. I then like try and find that in other places, and like whether it's like, you know, Waves of Consequence, like gets that similar feeling, like, you know, winning an event to like make it feel like neglecting something that I love and I'm passionate about is worth it.
Yeah. But
at the end of the day, like those are kind of shallow feelings. Like they're
very brief too.
They're very brief, and obviously you sacrifice a lot to chase your dreams, and like I feel like I've sacrificed a lot to get where I am, and I just think like you can't sacrifice everything. Like, yeah, for sure, sacrifice like, you know, a good education, childhood friendships, like my family's been incredible my whole career, but definitely sacrificed big parts of that, missed out on a lot of stuff. Been traveling on the road since like on my own, like 15, I started going overseas on my own, missing massive amounts of school. But you get to a point where like you got to feed the beast. You got to like make yourself feel whole and make yourself feel like you are taking control of yourself, and like you're in line with the things that make you happy. And like I want to work hard to be fit, to perform at my best, and then like I don't, you know, go and party hard. I never have. I've had a bit of fun, but like for me to go and like spend a day out in the bush with my mates riding a dirt bike, like that one day, like partying, whatever, like nothing even compares to the feeling that I get of freedom, of like expressing myself and being with a helmet on and sort of just being, you know, just being myself and expressing myself like however I want to. I've always like, you know, when you're on a dirt bike, you have full control of what risk you take, and how willing you are and what you're looking to get out of riding a bike. Are you doing it for just pure fun and like freedom? Are you looking to do it to push the limits and like get better? And like, are you trying to, you know, really influence the curve of progression? Or are you just like happy, you know, riding once a month and being happy with where your level's at and lasting 4 laps of a motocross track and then sitting back and
having a beer with the boys,
take your helmet off and shoot the shit and talk about the track and just be immersed in riding a bike for the day? It's been so much fun, and I've never fully sort of let it go, and it's something that I'll do forever. And I now having 2 kids, and I'm sure there'll be, you know, a point where they're going to want to have a go. But yeah, I just think it's a big part of making up who I am. And it's just, it's a lot of fun.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.